You are alone right now, and maybe no one told you this. That loneliness you feel is not weakness. It is power, because the moment you are left alone, you are forced to meet the most important person in your life, yourself. Most people are terrified of this moment. That is why they keep the noise on, they keep scrolling, they keep talking, they keep surrounding themselves with people who do not understand them just to avoid silence. But silence has a strange power. It does not distract you, it reveals you. And that is why loneliness hurts before it heals, because it shows you the truth without filters, without comfort, and without lies. When life removes people from your path, when support disappears, when messages stop coming, when you realize you are fighting battles no one sees, your first reaction is fear. You ask yourself, what did I do wrong? Why am I alone? Why does no one care? But what if this phase is not rejection? What if it is preparation? Science tells us that the brain grows strongest when it is forced to rely on itself, when external support is removed. Neural pathways related to self-regulation, discipline, and emotional control become stronger. In simple words, when you stop leaning on others, your mind learns how to stand on its own. Being alone teaches you something that crowds never will. It teaches you self-awareness when there is no one to impress, no one to explain yourself to, no one to validate your pain. You finally start listening to your own thoughts. You begin to understand what drains you, what motivates you, what scares you, and what excites you. Most people live their entire lives without ever knowing themselves because they're always performing. But solitude removes the mask, and yes, it feels uncomfortable at first because growth always does. You start noticing how much energy you wasted trying to be understood by people who were never listening. You realize how often you lowered your standards just to avoid being alone. How many times you stayed quiet to keep people close. And this realization hurts, but it also frees you. Because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You stop begging for attention, you stop explaining your pain, and you stop expecting others to save you, and something powerful replaces that expectation. Responsibility. Responsibility is scary because now there is no one to blame, but it is also empowering because now everything you build belongs to you. Your strength, your discipline, your confidence, your healing. This is where real power begins. Psychologists call this internal locus of control, the belief that your life is shaped by your actions, not your circumstances. People with this mindset are more resilient, more focused, and more successful. And guess how this mindset is built? Not in comfort, not in crowds, but in solitude. When you are alone, you are forced to sit with your emotions. Instead of escaping them, you feel the sadness fully, the fear fully, the uncertainty fully. And this is important because emotions that are avoided grow stronger. Emotions that are faced lose control over you. That is why silent, strong people are emotionally stable, not because they feel less, but because they have learned how to sit with discomfort without breaking. There will be moments in this phase when you feel invisible, when you feel forgotten, when you wonder if your efforts even matter. And in those moments, your mind will try to pull you back to old habits, old people, old distractions. But remember this, if everyone understands your journey, you are not growing fast enough. Growth often looks lonely from the outside because most people quit when it gets quiet. Look at nature. The strongest trees grow in isolation, facing storms. Alone, their roots go deeper because they have no choice. And when the storm comes, they do not fall because they were prepared. Loneliness does the same to you. It deepens your roots. It strengthens your core. It forces you to develop patience, discipline, and self-trust. You learn how to keep promises to yourself, how to wake up even when no one is watching, how to work without applause, how to stay consistent without validation. And this skill is rare because motivation from others is temporary, but self-driven discipline lasts a lifetime. Most people confuse loneliness with being unwanted, but there is a difference. Being unwanted is rejection. Being alone is selection. Life sometimes selects you for growth by removing distractions, by creating distance, by forcing silence not to hurt you but to shape you. And this shaping process feels painful because you are becoming someone new. You start valuing peace over popularity, depth over noise, purpose over approval. And this shift changes everything. You stop chasing attention and start attracting respect. You stop trying to fit in and start standing out quietly. You stop asking why me and start asking, what is this teaching me? And slowly, without announcing it, without posting it, without proving it, you begin to change your posture, your energy, your confidence. People may not notice immediately, but you will feel it. You will feel stronger, calmer, clearer. You will notice that small problems no longer shake you the way they used to, because solitude trained your nervous system to handle pressure. This is not the end of your story. This is the training ground. This is the silent chapter that no one claps for, but every powerful life has one. And if you quit here, you will never see what you are becoming on the other side. On the other side, because the strongest versions of people are never created in front of an audience. They are built in private moments when no one is watching and no one is cheering. This is why solitude feels heavy but powerful. At the same time, it is weight training for the mind, and just like muscles, the mind grows by resistance, not ease. When you are alone, your mind stops outsourcing strength to others. You stop relying on motivation from people and begin developing discipline from within. Neuroscience shows that repeated self-driven behavior strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, focus, and emotional regulation. This is why people who spend time alone intentionally often develop stronger self-control and clearer thinking. They are not distracted by emotional noise, they are grounded. At first, your thoughts will be loud: regret, fear, doubt, memories you avoided for years. But if you stay, instead of running, something shifts. The mind begins to organize itself. Chaos turns into clarity, anxiety turns into awareness, and fear turns into understanding. Silence is not empty, it is full of answers. This is the phase where you stop asking people for advice and start trusting your own judgment. Not because you know everything, but because you finally know yourself. You learn which battles are worth fighting and which ones are a waste of energy. You stop reacting to everything because you understand that every reaction costs energy, and energy is currency. Being alone teaches you boundaries. You realize not and it is one of the strongest predictors of long-term success. Not talent, not luck, but the ability to stay composed under pressure. And now, when challenges appear, you do not panic because you have faced yourself alone before. You know that you can handle discomfort. You know that you can sit in uncertainty without collapsing, and this confidence changes how life responds to you. People sense when someone is no longer desperate for approval. They sense when someone is grounded and self-assured, and they treat them differently, not because of words, but because of energy. This is why solitude creates leaders. Leaders are not loud. They are stable. They are not reactive. They are intentional, and leadership begins with self-mastery, which is always built in private. Eventually, life will bring people back into your world healthier, stronger, more aligned connections. But now you will choose them, not cling to them. You will value presence, but not depend on it. You will love deeply, but not lose yourself. And when you finally step into success, whether it is internal peace, external achievement, or both, people will say you changed, and they will be right. You changed because you faced what they avoided. You stayed where they escaped. You grew where they distracted themselves. You will. Remember the nights you felt alone, the days you questioned yourself, and the moments you wanted to quit, and you will smile, not because it was easy, but because it was worth it. Hugh. And this is where the truth becomes clear. You were never alone without purpose. You were alone with intention. Solitude was not the absence of love. It was the training of strength. Not the lack of support, but the development of self-reliance. Not rejection, but redirection toward the person you were meant to become. And now, loneliness no longer scares you because you know it gave you something priceless. It gave you yourself. And if you are listening to this right now feeling alone, misunderstood, or forgotten, remember this: you're not behind. You're not broken, and you're not failing. You're becoming. This quiet phase of your life is not empty. It is full of growth that cannot happen in noise. Solitude is not here to punish you. It is here to prepare you for a level of strength, clarity, and purpose you could never reach in comfort. Do not rush this chapter. Do not compare it to anyone else's highlight reel. Trust what is being built inside you, even if the world cannot see it yet, because the strongest foundations are laid where no one is watching. One day you will walk into your life with calm confidence, not because everything is perfect, but because you are grounded. You will not need constant validation, because you validated yourself. You will not fear silence, because silence made you strong. And you will not fear being alone, because you know what you are capable of when you stand on your own. So when the nights feel quiet and the path feels lonely, remind yourself, this is not the end. This is the becoming. This is where power is born. This is where resilience is formed. And this is where you rise. You are alone, and that is not your weakness. You are alone, and that is your power.